Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 24, Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation, from text 16 through 30. Text 16. The merciful king, being moved by the pitiable words of the fish, placed the fish in a water jug and brought him to his own residence. 17. But in one night that fish grew so much that he could not move his body comfortably in the water of the pot. He then spoke to the king as follows. Text 18. O my dear king, I do not like being in this water pot with such great difficulty. Therefore, please find some better reservoir of water where I can live comfortably. Text 19. Then taking the fish out of the water pot, the king threw him in the large well. But within a moment, the fish developed to the length of 3 cubits. Text 20. The fish then said, My dear king, this reservoir of water is not fit for my happy residence. Please give me a more extensive pool of water, for I have taken shelter of you. Text 21. O Maharaj Parikshit, the king took the fish from the well and threw him in a lake. But the fish then assumed a gigantic form exceeding the extent of the water. Text 22. The fish then said, O king, I am a large aquatic and this water is not at all suitable for me. Now kindly find some way to save me. It would be better to put me in the water of a lake that will never reduce. Text 23. When thus requested, King Satyavrata took the fish to the largest reservoir of water, but when that also proved insufficient, the king at last threw the gigantic fish into the ocean. Text 24. While being thrown in the ocean, the fish said to the king Satyavrata, O hero, in this water there are very powerful and dangerous sharks that will eat me. Therefore, you should not throw me in this place. Text 25. After hearing these sweet words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of a fish, the king, being bewildered, asked him, Who are you, sir? You simply bewilder us. Text 26. My lord, in one day you have expanded yourself for hundreds of miles, covering the water of the river and the ocean. Before this, I have never seen or heard of such an aquatic animal. Text 27. My lord, you are certainly the inexhaustible Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, Sri Hari. It is to show your mercy to the living entities that you have now assumed the form of an aquatic. Text 28. O my Lord, Master of creation, maintenance and annihilation, O best of enjoyers, Lord Vishnu, you are the leader and destination of surrenders, devotees like us. Therefore, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Text 29. All your pastimes and incarnations certainly appear for the welfare of all living entities. Therefore, my Lord, I wish to know the purpose for which you have assumed this form of a fish. In text 30. O my Lord, possessing eyes like the petals of a lotus, the worship of the demigods who are in the bodily concept of life is fruitless in all respects. But because you are the supreme friend and dearmost supersoul of everyone, worship of your lotus feet is never useless. You have therefore manifested your form as a fish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Achyut Prabhuji, thank you so much for reading. Yeah, so let us offer. Thank you, Radharani Mataji, for sharing your screen also and for your service every day in starting the japa and coordinating these calls and sending out the verses. Mm. So, yeah, you can stop sharing, Mataji. No, not required. I'll just go through them. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'll offer brief prayers and we'll discuss. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chekshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Tamam Vishupataya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Chinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravat Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, we're in a nice section. In fact, the last chapter of the entire 8th canto, we are there. And the 9th chapter is full of pastimes, small pastimes, small stories. That's how its ninth canto starts. So, it's also interesting. So now we are in Matsya Avatara section. Last chapter is about Matsya Avatara, 24th chapter. You heard from Krishna Prabhu yesterday how he described the initial portion of this chapter. A brief context I'll give and then we'll continue again. So brief context we heard so far is about how Parishit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami to describe about Matsya Avatara. Why did he think about Matsya Avatara? Because he heard about Vamana Avatara just now. And in Vamana Avatara, how did Supreme Lord came? Supreme Lord came like a beggar. He was begging 3 pieces of land like that. So, is considered beggar is not considered great. Beggar is considered very abominable situation like that. Of course, we are merciful to beggars or somebody who doesn't have anything, but still it's not considered a great position like that. So Parismara also remembered that how Supreme Lord came. Why did Supreme Lord came in such an abominable form of body like fish, which is considered like mode of ignorance like that? Like that, he asked the question to hear the pastime of Supreme Lord like that. So then we are hearing what Sukadeva Goswami is describing. He started to describe. He briefly described in the first Swayambhu Manvantara how the Supreme Lord came as as a Matsyavatara to save the scriptures, Vedas from being stolen by Hiranyagarbha demon, like that is described. So then, not Hiranyagarbha, Hayagriva, sorry, Hayagriva demon. So then he started to describe in this incarnation, Chakshush Manvantara, how he came as Matsyavatara again and he saved the Vedas again in the form of a fish incarnation. Interestingly, Adbhuta word is used a couple of times in these verses. Adbhuta means wonderful, wonderful in terms of the form of fish, wonderful in terms of the activities of the fish also. Whenever Supreme Lord comes, his form itself is super beautiful, Adbhutam, wonderful. And not only that, his activities are also even wonderful like that. Whenever Supreme Lord does any kind of activities like that. So that's what he asking. And then he started to describe in Chakshus Manvantara what happened. There's a king by name Satyavrata. He came to the river and he was offering he took the water from the river Like we normally see, right? Sandhya Vandana they call it. So they take the water from the river and then with mantras they offer it back to the river only. Similarly, Satyavati Muni took some water in the palm and then offered back in the river. That time he did not notice that there's a fish that came in the palms of the Satyavrata king. And then it went back to the water. And the fish started to speak. Unlike ordinary fishes, this fish was started to speak to the Satyavrata Muni. Satyavrata king, sorry. Not There's a Satyavrata Muni also who wrote the Damodar Arti song, right? Yeah, this is Satyavata king. So the fish started speaking. He's saying, "Oh, I'm very scared. If you put me back in the river, there are big, big aquatics here. They might eat small fishes like me. So don't put me there." So till that time, uh, we heard, I think it's text 15. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. One more verse also we heard yesterday. That is when fish said like that, king naturally King Satyavrata, being a righteous king, being a dutiful king, uh, he wanted to offer the protection to the fish. We hear in many, many purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, king or a ruler, responsibility is not just towards human beings. His responsibility is towards all living entities in the kingdom, including animals, including birds, including aquatics, including insects, like that it describes. So here, aquatics, the fish is an aquatic. So Satyavata king decides to uh, offer protection with great pleasure is described. That means when we're doing duty, we should do it with pleasure. That means in the sense that we should be happy to do our duty, not begrudgingly duty. Oh my God, now I need to offer protection to this fish, not like that. Similarly, we as a father, mother, husband, uh, a leader of some kind to one person or more in our life, we should not begrudgingly do the service. We should be happy to do our services, happy to do our duties. Because actually, being able to do duties is a privilege for us. Krishna has given us children, Krishna has given us a wife, Krishna has given us a husband, Krishna has given us the parents so that we can offer something as service to them. Understanding that they are all belonging to Krishna. And in this lifetime, Krishna has given me situation in such a way that I have this opportunity to serve them in some way. With that understanding, when we start serving, then we'll be serving with in a pleasing way, not begrudging way. If you see this as a pain to, oh my God, I need to do this, oh my God, I need to do this for them, if I see like that only, then it will not be pleasing to us, not pleasing to Krishna. But if you see that as an opportunity of service to Krishna, then it will be, we can do it in a pleasing way without in a grudging way like that. In fact, one time I recently heard it. I forgot recently heard or read again, but long time ago I heard this pastime, and then recently I read or heard. I forgot. It's only Radhanath Swami Maharaj. One time, one mother of a small baby comes to him and say, Maharaj, I'm not able to do much services now because I have a very small baby now. Recently delivered my delivered baby like that. Then Radhanath Swami Maharaj assures her that this baby is the deity for you. So make sure you take care of her, because when you take care of her nicely, that is your service to Krishna now, nicely like that. So then that underscore the importance for her, that mother, that and you take care of this baby so nicely, because that is my way of offering service to Krishna right now. Because if I take care, give lots of love to this baby now and care for her nicely now, then the baby will grow up and baby will naturally, with the love towards me, baby will listen to me when I say, okay, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When I'm telling about Krishna to baby, baby will listen to me. Uh, so naturally, it becomes easy to give Krishna consciousness to my baby also, because when we are very nourished and cared for, then we open our heart, not just the ear. We open our heart to the person who is cared for us, who took care of us like that. So similarly, when we care for the baby nicely in terms of physical needs, in terms of social needs, psychological needs, emotional needs, then we can also nourish the spiritual needs of the baby, because that is our essential duty. So that way we take care of the baby nicely and Krishna will be very pleased. Naturally, when we need to be in such consciousness that by taking care of the baby, I'm serving Krishna. When we need to be in such consciousness to please Krishna, we need to do our sadhana nicely also. That means we need to do our chanting nicely as we can. For example, with a baby of a mother of a young baby, they don't have proper sleep because baby wakes up most of the night, and or wakes up after a little bit grown up, baby wakes up in between. So they don't have much proper rest also, and they need to be always with the baby because baby is fully dependent on the mother. So in such a case also, uh, we try our best to do the best sadhana we can. That way our consciousness is proper in serving the baby also, like that. So that is an example here of offering protection in a uh, pleasing way to Krishna, in a good pleasing attitude, like that. Like that is the example we can see from King Satyavata here, who is very happy to be ready to offer protection to the fish. He doesn't know that fish is the Supreme Lord yet, but he just knows it's a fish who is asking for protection. So he's very happy to do that service for the fish, like that. So that's what we can learn from here. So now, what did the king do? Now, rest of the most of the verses are a storyline of how king offered his best, did his best to offer protection to the fish, like that. That is what we'll see the storyline. After that, King Satyavrata starts to offer prayers. And from that, we hear the greatness of bhakti, bhakti unto the Supreme Lord, and the Alpamedasa, weak intelligence, mere intelligence of offering worship to the demigods. Like that, we'll see that. That's the main theme I'll focus on after covering the storyline. Storyline will cover, and then the main theme we'll cover is how worshipping Supreme Lord is the best, how worshipping demigods is not the best. Like that, we'll talk about that. So now, storyline wise, when the fish said, "Please protect me. I may be eaten by big fishes, like the big aquatics in this water in this river. Please protect me." Then Krishna, this king Satyavrata, offered protection to the fish by putting it in a small water jug, and then he took him to his palace, it seems. When he took his palace, in one night is described. The time frame is interesting for me, that's why I'm mentioning here. In one night, the fish became big and he cannot move in the jug anymore. So it's not very comfortable situation in the jug anymore. So the mm, uh, fish starts to talking to King Satyavada. He says, "Oh, my dear king, I do not like living in this water pot because it's very difficult to move around here and there also. So therefore, please put me in a better reservoir of water. That means bigger reservoir of water. So I can live comfortably," like that. Fish asked the King Satyavrata. And then King Satyavrata wants to offer protection properly to the fish. So that means he. So one thing we can notice here is sometimes when we have a duty that is given, we try to do the bare minimum. Check mark. I took care of production. Not like that. He is making sure the fish is comfortable also. Not just, okay, you can live. That's good enough. Not like that. Can live comfortably also. So he's doing his duty excellently. So what does he do? He takes the fish and throws it into a large well now this time. So interestingly, unlike the previous time, after the whole night the fish became big. Here within a moment, fish developed into 3 cubits is described. 3 cubits, I was looking. What does it mean? 3 cubits means the forearm that we have, that length is called a cubit, it seems. In the dictionary, it says 18 to 21 inches. That means like 1.5 feet maximum. So 1 to 1.5 feet basically. So around 1.5 feet. So that much length it became. From a small fish in the jug, it became a big fish now in the well. But wells are not so big. So it was again not able to fit in that well. Uh, the so fish again asked King Satyavata, my dear king, this reservoir of water, this large well, is not fit for my happy residence, it says. Earlier it says not comfortable. Now it says I'm not able to be happy in this residence like that. Can you please put me into extensive pool of water? Because I've taken shelter of you, is reminding. Because I took shelter of you, please give me protection, like that is reminding. So, in fact, some devotees, when they offer prayers to Krishna, also they'll say like that, my dear Krishna, I don't know what to do in this circumstance, but I take shelter of you because I know you are great. You can do anything you like. If you wish, you can save me from this situation also. If you wish, you can help me to come out of the situation in such a way that I will be more devoted to you. So uh, please, please save me. I don't have anybody to save me. Doctors cannot help me. My father cannot help me. My mother cannot help me. You are my only savior. Please help me. Like that, when we pray, Krishna is very pleased. Krishna will see that our dependence, and Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. So, like that, fish is asking, reminding that I took shelter of you. Please protect me, like that. Then what did the king do? King took the fish from the well and put it in a lake like that. When he put in the lake, the fish immediately assumed big form, and he covered up the whole lake like that. Now the lake is not sufficient for the fish to live anymore like that. The fish then again said, I'm a large aquatic, and this water is not at all suitable for me. He's telling now. He's telling, initially he told us not comfortable. Next say I'm not able to live happily. Next, now he's saying this is not suitable for me at all. Kindly find a way to save me now. Now is a life situation. It's not just being happy. He cannot live in this place also. Please save me. So, and then he gives a suggestion to the king. What is the suggestion? He says, it's better to put me in a water of a lake that will never reduce, like that, he says. So there, uh, King Satyavrata took the fish to the largest water body. Still, it did not help. Then he finally takes it to big ocean, and he leaves the fish there. Then the fish said to king, as soon as he put in the ocean, oh, in this water there is very, very powerful and dangerous sharks. They will eat me. Therefore, you should not throw me in this place. Like that, fish starts talking to king again now. So, after hearing these sweet words from the fish, who's none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the king, being bewildered, what is happening? I put him in a jug, it didn't fit. So I put him in a well, it didn't work. I put him in a lake, it didn't work. Another large body of water I put in, it didn't work. Now I put in a ocean. Now fish is talking sweetly still, asking for protection. So then he starts to speak, King Satyavata. This is a very interesting section now, because King Satyavata is speaking with brief prayers. There's another set of prayers coming in later part of the chapter. Those are even more wonderful. But here he starts to speak. Who are you, sir? You simply bewilder us. Like that is speaking in text number 25. And then later on he says, in one day, you expanded for hundreds of mile length. How is this possible? You cover the water of a river, you cover the water of an ocean. I never seen such a big aquatic animal in my lifetime. Forget about seeing. I never heard of such a big aquatic animal also. So then he says, my lord, you are certainly the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, Srihari. So, only to show your mercy to the living entities, that you have now assumed the form of the aquatic like this. So, he's describing the brief purpose, potential purpose in a high level. He's saying, only to show mercy to living entities, you come. So, now in the fish incarnation also, to show some mercy only you have come. Like that he said. In text 28 he says, "Oh my Lord, you are the master of creation, maintenance, and annihilation also. And you are the best of enjoyers also." Why he is the best of enjoyer? When somebody is the proprietor, he can be the enjoyer also. Then you are Lord Vishnu, you are the leader of the devotees, and you are the destination of surrender devotees like me. That means for devotees, you not only inspire them, you not only help them follow you, but you also are the destination for them. That means they want to reach you or reach you to serve you. That is who you are. Therefore, I offer my obeisances to you. Like that, is recognizing that is Supreme Lord and is offering prayers like that. So we have two more verses for today. And he says in 20th verse, all your pastimes and incarnations certainly appear for the welfare of living entities. So, Hetava, your reason for appearance in any pastime is to give good welfare for the welfare of for the protection for the welfare of living entities like that is describing. So now he says, therefore, I want to know what is the purpose for which you assume this form of fish. Why is he asking about the purpose? Because when we know the Lord's purpose, then we can serve in that purpose. Similarly, when we approach the superiors, we need to understand their mood. We need to understand their mission. We need to understand the purpose there that is driving their life. When we know their purpose, then we can do small thing in our capacity to help in their purpose, to help in their mission, to help in their mood like that, so that we can align in their mood. Similarly, when we know the mood and mission of our Guru, mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada, we can also align in that mission somehow or other to whatever little capacity our time allows, whatever capacity our energy allows, whatever little capacity our skills allow us, abilities allow us, we can do that much service. That's why it's important to know the purpose of senior devotees, our gurus and sadhus, and also the Supreme Lord in Himself. So that's why He's asking the purpose. So He can serve in some way or the other towards the purpose like that. So the last verse for today, text number 30. So King Satyavata is saying this to the fish incarnation, Matsyavatara, Supreme Lord. What does he say? He glorifies the Supreme Lord. Oh Lord, you possess the Lord, your eyes like a lotus petals like that. So, and he contrasts something. He says, worship of the demigods who are in bodily concept of life is fruitless in all respects. Worshipping the demigods is fruitless, is not helpful, not good in all respects, he's saying. Number one point. Now, contrasting that, he says, but because you are the supreme friend and dearmost super soul of everyone, why? The reason is giving. Because you are the best friend and you are the dearmost super soul of everyone. Because of that reason, worship of your lotus feet is never useless. Worship of demigods is fruitless, he said in all respects. But worship of Krishna's lotus feet is never useless, is always useful, he's saying. And you have therefore manifested your form as a fish. So basically saying you manifested whatever form you manifest, whether you come in fish form, whether you come in turtle, tortoise form, doesn't matter. Still worshipping you is useful, like that is saying. So Prabhupada wrote a beautiful purport and is writing the contrast between demigod worship and Supreme Lord worship. And what do we get with by worshipping demigods? What do we get by worshipping Supreme Lord? Like that is contrasting. This is a theme what we learn from Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada is quoting a couple of Bhagavad Gita verses also in this chapter, in this purport itself. Two verses is quoting from Bhagavad Gita. Essentially, first point is making is demigods are also living entities like us, Jiva Tattva. They're not Vishnu Tattvas. So that means they also have a starting, they also take a body, and then they also need to leave the body at some point of time. Of course, their lifetime is longer than us, but still they are also Jiva Tattva. They are also temporarily living in that particular body form. Number one point he makes. Number two point he makes is demigods, whatever they give, it's only a temporary reward, temporary benefit they can give. They cannot give eternal benefit of staying, going back to spiritual world. They cannot give eternal benefit of eternal happiness. They can only give me eternal wealth, not eternal wealth, temporary wealth, temporary happiness in this world only. They cannot give something eternal, substantial, that will live long time like that. So that means whatever they're giving is temporary benefit. So it's not worth it worshipping the demigods. That's how Prabhupada talks about it. And then he quotes another Bhagavad Gita verse uh, that where is described, yeah, Prabhupada quotes, Kame staistair hitagnana prapadyante anya devataye. That is one thing he quotes. Another words he quotes is about where Prabhupada talks about Alpa, Alpa Medasa, worshipping demigods is uh, weak intelligence like that. So that is not good thing, not glorified like that. Like that, why is not intelligent? When you are able to get something eternal benefit for a long time, why do you try to get only small benefit? For example, if I if I had the option to choose to get to live in a big palace in a luxury car and whatever comfort I want for 100 years, that is option one. Option two is I can live in a palace for 1 hour. Will I choose option two or option one? Even though option two takes a little bit more work, I will take option two. Even though option one is coming easily, I will rather focus on option two. So that's what Prabhupada is explaining. That's what Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita also. That it's a intelligence is not proper. Alpa medasa, very small intelligence to try to worship demigods because they will only give temporary benefits. Instead, we worship Supreme Lord who gives the permanent benefit, number one. And Supreme Lord is the boss of demigods also. So if you worship the boss, we get the best. So like that, Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. That is one point. So that is a negative point. Why demigod worship is not good like that. Now the other point is positive point also Prabhupada makes, which is whatever little devotion service we make to Supreme Lord, that will give ultimate benefit and will never goes in loss. This is a beautiful point we can learn always. So we can be hopeful in devotion service at any point of time. Whatever little devotion service I do to Krishna is very, very pleased like that we can know. So essentially, whatever devotion service, little bit of chanting, little bit of hearing, little bit of reading Bhagavatam, little bit of reading Bhagavad Gita, little bit of service to Vaishnavas will never go in vain because that will be in our eternal deposit and it will take us closer and closer in our relationship with Krishna. So when we know that, we're always inspired to do whatever little we can like that. And not only little, if we do more, we'll get more closer to Krishna. So we are inspired to do more also in service to Krishna like that. So that is the beauty of Bhakti Yoga. Whatever you do, it will never go waste to Supreme Lord. Whereas even if you worship demigod for a long time, it is next life you need to start again worshipping demigod one more time like that. It's not like I worshipped 5 years to demigod, now I am at the certain stage and start there. No. Only Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti to Supreme Lord will go for an eternal credit like that. We know from examples like Bharat Maharaj, how even when he got the body of a deer, even when he got the body of a Jada his consciousness evolved from where he was. And his bhakti was intact. He was growing in bhakti, in fact. So that's why bhakti will never go in vain, and we should focus on worshipping the Supreme Lord only. And while respecting the demigods, well, we don't need to worship the demigods. We can respect the demigods. We don't need to worship the demigods. Yeah, that's the principle Prabhupada is sharing in this purport also. So we'll pause here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Thank you so much, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you.